Now we're going to send it over to Melissa Sapini, who is standing by with Gene Cassidy, the CEO of the Big E.
Thanks, Leah. And now I'm joined by Gene, the CEO of the Big E.
Good morning, Melissa. How are you?
Hi, Gene. I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Thrilled that you guys are here.
So tell us about the Big E, the best festival in the nation.
Wow, the Eastern States Exposition is the third largest agricultural fair in North America, probably the third biggest public event that takes place in the world. We're happy that you guys are here to learn a little bit more about us. We were founded in 1916 as an industrial and agricultural exposition. Our founder, whose picture you see over my shoulder, Mr. Brooks, was from Brookline, Massachusetts. He realized that there was a decline in agriculture in New England and that industry was being challenged. He came to Springfield, Massachusetts. He founded the Eastern States with some great names. Helen Storrow, the wife of James Storrow, for whom Storrow Drive is named in Boston. Horace Moses, the founder of the Strathmore Paper Company. J.C. Penney. And they founded the Eastern States Exposition, which we fondly call the Big E today. So we'll host about 1,600,000 people in 17 days, which makes us the biggest. We'll have 147 musical events take place on our stages throughout these 17 days. Some really big name stars. Last night we had a blast with Dropkick Murphys, and we've got some really big names. I encourage people to visit thebiggie.com to see our menu of entertainers. But we host a lot of people, and then behind the scenes for most of the fairgoers is the core mission, and that is a promotion of agriculture. So we'll have some of the finest cattle in the world competing for blue ribbons here on the fairgrounds during these 17 days. Heavy livestock, dairy cattle, beef cattle, sheep. We have the two oldest horse shows in America. The Springfield Horse Show was founded in 1848. It moved to the grounds here in 1916 and has been here ever since, both the Hunter Jumper Show and the Saddlebred Show. And it attracts some of the most beautiful equine there is in the world. It's a blast to be here, and I'm happy to be able to talk about it with you.
Thank you so much. And there's also one little fun fact I know about a yellow slide. Tell me more about that.
So there's the giant slide at the Eastern States. There's 5 of them in the world. They were built by an engineer from McDonnell Douglas, and the panels on the slide are actually the panels of a C-130.
No way.
So there's one here at the Eastern States Exposition. There's one in Iowa at the Iowa State Fair, the Wisconsin State Fair, the Minnesota State Fair, and there's one in an airplane hangar in South Florida. But yeah, the giant slide, it's a blast.
That's awesome. Can you tell me a little bit about the State House replicas? That's really interesting.
Oh, yeah. So this is the only place in the United States where one state actually owns deeded property within the boundaries of another state. So there are replicas of the original state houses of the 6 New England states, starting obviously with Massachusetts, but Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Rhode Island, and Connecticut as well. So the buildings are scale replicas, and they're really, really beautiful real estate. Inside the buildings, each state brings the best of their state commodities, whether it's seafood, maple syrup, potatoes from Maine, Dell's lemonade from Rhode Island. It's just really, really good stuff that New England's known for. And they're all featured in the buildings.
That's awesome. There's so much like New England culture going on. Tell me more about the Irish theme.
So here at the Eastern States, we also have a large pavilion dedicated to the Dingle Peninsula in Kerry, Ireland, which is Western Ireland. So the Dingle Craftsman and Crystal, the Dingle Distillery is here. Opening weekend is halfway to St. Patrick's Day. So big festivities. Dropkick Murphy was last night. Tonight is Unforgettable Fire, which is a U2 tribute band. You can see the pin I'm wearing. West Springfield is a sister city to Dingle. And it's a lot of fun and a lot of flair. And of course, anytime you can celebrate Irish, why not?
Why not?
In addition, this year, we're really excited because we have the largest traveling Ferris wheel in North America. Yeah, so it's 155 feet tall. Each of the gondolas is air conditioned and heated if you need it. But from the top of the gondola, they tell me you can see Hartford, Connecticut. So it's very cool. Another fun fact about the fairgrounds, I mentioned the name Helen Storrow. Mrs. Storrow was on the board of directors in 1916 when we were founded. Not a lot of women were on boards of directors in 1916. She didn't have a building from which to operate from. So what Mrs. Storrow did was she traveled throughout New England England with a world-famous architect from Boston, last name of Chapman, and they found old buildings from the 6 New England states. First time in the history of the United States that a building was dismantled from one location and then reconstructed in a new location. And she created on our grounds what we call Storyton Village. So there are 9 19th and 18th century buildings which create a beautiful New England village right here on the grounds of the Eastern States Exposition. And I encourage folks to see that and appreciate it. It's an amazing, amazing place, and it's testimony to a brilliant, strong-minded woman who paid and funded for the entire project herself.
So much rich history going on here. So much. Come pay a visit.
Come pay a visit, thebiggie.com.
Thank you so much for having us, Gene. We're going to have a blast today. It looks awesome out here, so thank you so much.
I'm sure you guys will have some fun.